Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Dino and Vera, and today we'll talk about are band names protected or are they protected by copyright? This is concerning the Orient Pearl issue. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Again, today we'll talk about whether Orient Pearl, who owns the band name Orient Pearl? Is it the original singer or the current band lineup? Okay, Orient Pearl was a band in the 1990s formed by, this is from Wikipedia and other sources listing the origin of the name. Let me just read out the band members so it won't be confusing. The vocals were Naldi Padilla, the guitar was Leo Awatin, the bass was Ryan Gomez, keyboards was Dexter Panlilio, and the drummer was JB Medrano. Now, according to the sources that I've read, the band broke up in the early 2000s. So it means the band didn't play any records, didn't record any albums. They might have performed, but nevertheless, they were not together. Now, the lead singer, Mr. Padilla, is going to have this concert with other lead singers of other bands. I'm not so for it because then that's just giving too much credence on the lead vocals, but there's nothing wrong with that, rest assured. So he claimed in a news conference or in a press conference that he owns the name and not the current lineup, which was relaunched in November 2024, and I think they have a concert series coming up. So in that press conference, of course, to give some media, some mileage, some attention to that lead singer concert, Mr. Padilla claimed that he owns the band name Orient Pearl because he's one of the founding members. Now, I'm not saying it's the truth or I'm not saying he's lying. That could be what it was. But nevertheless, in this video, I will talk about how band names are protected per se, and if they are protected, how can they be protected and who gets to own them, all right? Now, as a general rule, and it's all over the world and in basic copyright law, what is protected are the songs, the album covers, the music and the lyrics of the band's compositions. But the band name itself, the name of the band, is not by itself, on its own, protected. Which means, in essence, even if that band is famous at that time, if there's no protection, another band or another business may use that band's name for any other enterprise or any other service. That's because, again, as I said, without any other supervening fact, band names are not protected per se. More so, they are not protected by copyright law. Now, there's one way to protect a band name, which I have done for my clients, namely Razorback, Wolfgang, and the latest a few years ago was Itchy Worms. I help them protect their band name through filing for a trademark registration to the Intellectual Property Office. Now, before making this video in January 2025, I checked the database. I made a trademark search for the name Orient Pearl and where is it, if ever, registered. It actually is, but it's called the Orient Pearl, and it's for a restaurant, which is a different category as musicians or musical service or artists. So in a sense, there's no name Orient Pearl protected for the category of music. So it is very clear by factual evidence, at least in January 2025, there is no registration, there is not even a pending application for the name Orient Pearl as a trademark for a band. Mr. Padilla has claimed ownership. In fact, he has even dared the current band lineup using Orient Pearl to sue him. Now, to sue him, he must use the name Orient Pearl as a band, which he's not doing. He's just doing a concert and he's calling himself former vocalist of Orient Pearl. Whether he can sing songs of Orient Pearl, I have actually made a video on that issue with Side A. I'll give a link in the description below. All right? Now, let's go back. If Mr. Padilla were to, whoever will try to register Orient Pearl as a trademark, it's not just easy to do because there are responsibilities that comes with trademark registration. First, when you go file for a trademark, you have to have good faith telling the IPO, Intellectual Property Office, that you registered it in good faith and you're telling the IPO, hey, this is my name, I created it, it's what I made it, or it is mine. Now, I'll give a link on the description below because that was the case of Eat Bulaga versus Tape Incorporated. Tape's trademark over Eat Bulaga was canceled because there was no good faith by Tape when they filed for trademark of Eat Bulaga because it was found out that it was really created by Joey De Leon. I'll give a link to my videos in the description below. So the IPO feels that if you're going to file for a trademark, you have to tell them, hey, I'm telling you in good faith, I'm telling you honestly that it's my name and that I created it. Now, Nelly Padilla may have created that name. Let's give him that. So what he has to do, he has to file for a trademark registration with the IPO, claiming that the band names is his. He'll probably be granted registration. But with registration comes great responsibility. Because under the rules of the Intellectual Property Office, you just don't file for protection. You have to tell them that you're using it. You have to do it every couple of years. If you don't do it, the IPO may cancel the trademark or consider it abandoned for non-use. So if Mr. Padilla were to say, hey, I own it, hopefully he files for a trademark registration. But then again, as I said, he has to use it, meaning he has to perform as a band using the Orient Pearl name, not just his name as lead or former vocalist of Orient Pearl. Now, if he does file and he does not do the requirements for informing IPO that he's using it, there can be two things. It can be abandoned because of the non-filing of use. That is if he registers it. Now, if he wants to claim that it's his, but he doesn't register it, and let's say the band does something about it, what can be claimed against Mr. Padilla is that he slept on his rights. He slept on the opportunity to file for a trademark all these years. Because it's been that's about more than almost 30 years ago. So if he hasn't done anything over the last 30 years, then the law says you are sleeping on your rights, and basically by doing so, you give up the right to that name. All right? Now remember, what I said in this video is not necessarily legal advice or legal counseling. It's just a matter of telling you what the law says, and it is for educational and information purposes only. Hi, please do me a favor and smash that like button. It'll help me a lot and it will trigger the YouTube algorithm. Now, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. If you don't, my dog will eat this exam booklet and that student has to repeat his final exam again.